There you go.
I'm Kurt Holland with Varela and Associates, Council Mayor. Thank you for having me today. This is an update on the overall design. Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna get out of the way so that folks can see.
Oh, just over here. Be right there. So, general update in the project. We had a meeting last week with WashDOT, and it was kind of the geometrics meeting with them. Since it's a state highway, they have to give various levels of approval for any modifications to the state highway. Went really good. They didn't have any particular comments. There was a couple questions and inquiries or suggestions about other things as we get more into the detail elements of it. Currently, the project water system improvements have been drafted, as are the sanitary sewer. So they're in review form. Storm sewer, we're waiting on the final geometry of the phase 2 curb lines, etc. We've met with the Public Works Committee, 5 times, I suppose. The geometrics is pretty solid in what you see right there. I don't know why this is.
Try to drag it down.
I didn't move. I think there you go. Nice.
So you're looking at the entirety of phase 2. The project will be broken into a schedule on First Street, so that intersection will have a Schedule A, and that we're doing that in case the bids come in high. We have an awardable project. So the project base bid will be the full intersection of 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and up to the right of way of First, and then First will be a Schedule A. If you look along the bottom of it, I can zoom up. I got the project components broke out. Stormwater is $1.5 million. Right now, it's about 80% grant, 20% loan. Water, $500,000. It's again about 80% grant, 20% loan. Sanitary sewer, best guess is around $300,000. It's 50% grant, 50% loan is our best guess. That's the funding package from RD. The remaining elements, the sidewalk, ADA ramps, the lights, and the aesthetics, and the paving are 100% grant. We have specific grant funding for the aesthetics, so it can only be used for garbage cans, bike racks, if it's desired, the aesthetical elements, but that's all it can be used for. Overall, our best guess is the project will be about 90% grant and 10% loan. It's in its entirety. Going over the general elements of the utility, which is the major driver. Couple cheat sheets here. The water utility is about 1,400 feet of main line, about 1,000 feet of side service laterals with about 30 water meter replacements. The sanitary sewers, 750 feet of mainline replacement, about 600 feet of service laterals. Sanitary sewer is about 2,000 feet of mainline pipe, 30 catch basins, and overall about a couple dozen manholes. Major hurdles recognized is probably going to be the federal highways and some of the various elements. We're working with WashDOT and looking at alternative funding, so we potentially turn that back and not use the federal highways. Council, Mayor, any questions about the status of things?
So this phase is what, $6 million? Is that what you're estimating?
Approximately, yes, sir.
That still seems like a low ball figure to me. It really does.
Yep. So there's new elements of the Buy American that are being rolled out right now, and that's also tied to the federal highway. And, I think we can all applaud the purpose of the Buy American. It does increase cost of everything because most of the pipe, a lot of the products are made overseas. So as soon as you put Buy American on the limited American provided products, prices are going to accelerate. So right now we're just starting to see what those costs look like per lineal foot for the pipe.
So what happens if these bids come in way over your engineer's estimate? What happens then?
Yep. So the last funding element that we're using is RD, and we strategically used RD for the purposes of they do supplemental funding packages the easiest. The other funders are not user friendly as far as going back and getting additional funding, but rural development is, and we're also expanding the preliminary engineering report to include all the utilities. So if one utility comes in high, we can go get supplemental funding from RD, but then it'll be a decision on the council. So if they come in $100,000 over, you'll have a decision to make on whether you want to go. And usually the supplemental funding matches your percent loan grant at a minimum. Oftentimes it's more grant because it's more they're debt conscious of your utilities, but yeah, so then you have a decision to make. But we wanted to make sure that there was an avenue of awarding the project.
Okay. I just don't want the city out on the, holding the bag for a bunch of additional money that we don't have, so.
Yep.
Any other questions?
I don't have any questions. Go ahead.
I just want to thank you, Kurt, and your team for doing the work you guys are doing, keeping us abreast of all the different details of the project. And yeah, it's starting to take form. Glad to see that the project that was almost 20 years in the making, it's coming to fruition, and it's needed in our community, given that our infrastructure is a lot older. So, thank you. Any other questions? So before we.
I was just gonna say, if our council agrees, we set 30 minutes for this, if we have additional time, we can open up questions to the audience and if we're okay with that.
Okay with that.
So, having followed this. Having followed this for the past couple of years, I see that I thought we eliminated most of these bulb outs. I mean, that's kind of I don't know, they're just kind of crazy if you look at like the ones in Wenatchee or the ones in Cle Elum and so on.
I'm working with the Public Works Committee, so this is very similar to the preliminary design. It was approved by council in 2019. And it's also really consistent with what you see throughout the state. So Omak, Okanagan, Wenatchee, Davenport. One of the primary focuses of the Public Works Committee was to try to get traffic to slow down on the highway. They've done studies after studies, and one of the mechanisms they do that is by narrowing the throat at the intersection. It not only creates a narrower passage for the trucks and cars that slow down, it also gives better visibility for the pedestrians trying to cross the street.
Kurt, one thing you might want to cover is timeline. Do we have an idea of the timeline on this?
Yep, we're still looking to go out to bid in spring.
The start date of when?
I
I think it was May, June is what we're hoping for, yes.
I saw 3 trucks today try to get out on Third Street there. And that bulb out, they would not have made it without going over because there's an island of snow in the middle of the street.
Yep, I saw the same thing.
So I don't think we should put bulb outs in. If this wasn't Highway 97, I could see it. Like if in Omak where it's on Main Street, that's all right. But not on Highway 97, I don't see it.
I don't disagree. The question I had when I saw those 3 trucks is why they were trying to go down Third. There's better access as to whatever they're getting to on Third.
Perfect. You go right down Third Street and then go right to the Eagle, in the Naplin, the Living Park. In the back of the restaurant there. This makes sense. The easiest way, but I guess we could make them go another way.
Any other questions back here? Yeah, Aaron.
I have a couple questions. I was curious, when this is being built, where's the traffic gonna go?
Well, that's an extraordinarily wide street.
Oh.
And so they'll do one side of the street and direct traffic on the other. I suspect a lot of it'll get shoved down Western, whether we like it or not. But they'll do one side and then work on the other side of the street.
Okay. Okay, thanks. I was also curious, a year or 2 ago or whatever, when I was more involved with it, I'd asked about the heavy haul corridor. Do you know if it's being built to those standards?
Yeah, so that was quite a discussion of topic with WashDOT, and we had part of the discussion we had with them last week is this is not a heavy haul corridor, and they don't have no intentions of making it, so they don't support it at all. They didn't give me any figures. They said the road section would have to change and all or most of the bridges would have to get swapped out. And that's not a cost they're considering. They said there was some discussion about it 20+ years ago, but yeah, I ran it up the food chain and got a response.
Before I have you, I'm gonna see if anybody else has a question first. Okay, anybody else? Question? Seeing none. Okay, George, go ahead. Another one.
Okay, the main thing is you'd have to put utilities down a little further, right? So that probably wouldn't be a big deal. And it's the same way they said that the bridge out this side of Orville wasn't safe for that. Well, now it is all of a sudden. And these bridges that we have are so short, a 90-foot truck is not on the whole bridge at
Yeah,
the same time.
Yeah,
So there's no more load on the truck, on the bridges than there is with a regular truck. So if they ever come to realization with that, the bridges would be fine. So we don't have a limit that we, would easily remedy with doing this project.
yeah, I'm just the messenger. I ran it up WashDOT. It went to Olympia. I CC'd the mayor and council on the response. And they even quoted the RCW, but they have no plans of heavy hauling this highway is what they said.
Well, I've heard plans that, they would like to go to Wenatchee to, for trains and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it makes some intuitive sense, but they said no.
So Kurt,
Yes.
you said May or June, spring. So that probably depends a lot on what our winter is like and how.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna go out it'll probably be an extended bid period because it's a larger, more complicated project. I think the federal highways funding is still, we would like to shed that funding if we could, so we are exploring some other funding opportunities to try to get around that. So I think a bid opening May or June is probably a best goal for us right now.
Okay, and if everything goes smoothly,
Mhm.
which sometimes we know it doesn't,
Never does.
it should end before fall then.
Yes.
Okay.
There'll be a deadline on it probably of October 15th for completion to make sure the asphalt gets down, yeah.
And I
Yep.
know we did, I'm sorry, we did talk about not using Western very much, but I'm with you. I think that that probably will be a way that people are just going to.
Yep. And we looked at putting in some funding for redoing Western this year, and we decided to wait a year and fix it after it gets beat up a little bit after this project. So, yeah, we've been looking at that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? What about, let's open it up online. If anybody online has a question?
Well, I don't have, this is Debbie Roberts talking. I don't have a question, but as I listened to one person there that was disagreeing with is it called bulbous sidewalks? I'm not sure, but I just wanted to say I disagree. I think that's such a wonderful idea because we need beautification in Tenasket, and that would be an opportunity to, put things there that would be lovely to look at and would draw people to our town. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Right. Thank you, Debbie. Any other online questions or comments? Alice, can we see everybody?
That is, let me see. I'm going to
It might
not.
be-
Oh, Never mind.
Might be down below on that little arrow. Okay.
Is Matt
I
still
think
on?
we're,
Yeah, I think.
That's right up here.
Well, thank you, Kurt.
Yep.
And again, if you have comments, maybe if you have questions and you didn't feel like you wanted to ask at this moment, please take the time to write them and send them our way.
Got my screen.
and the goal for this video is for it to be posted on our website. So if you have other people who you feel wants the information or needs updated, it'll be hopefully posted on our website if all goes well with our.
Close my screen.